Hey, what's up? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Today we're going to talk about 05 Melly. I'm going to give you not the typical video that everybody else give you where they detailing everything about him, his history, his this, his that. Nah, today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give you 4 lessons that we could learn from his situation. All right. Now, most of y'all are already familiar with who 051 Melly is. There's already like 1 million videos online about his death. If you're not familiar with his death, I would say out of all the YouTubers who done something on him, the best place to go to is Street News TV. All right, all the YouTubers, when it comes to him breaking down the Chicago legends, they got their own way of doing things. But this guy, he definitely do his thing. I'm gonna just give it to him. I think he's the best at it. He's known when it comes to this, and not only that, like, I think he's actually from Chicago. So who would you rather get your information from, opposed to some of these YouTubers that aren't even in the mix of Chicago and they just going off of things that they heard? So make sure you go check them out if you don't know the whole story on 051 Melly. Now, what I will do, like I said, for the ones that aren't familiar with the basics of 05 Melly, aka the Gravedigger, and his story, I'll give you a rundown, and on everything else that you want to know, like I said, you go to Street News TV. First and foremost, rest in peace to Yarmel Williams. That's his name, aka 051 Melly. When he was killed, he was only 27 years old, attending a house party, aka a kickback, on the south side of Chicago, where Melly was having fun amongst people he considered quote-unquote friends, when suddenly a gunman came and shot him multiple times, leaving him to die right there on the scene. Now, most people that hear the story, they say he was backdoored. For people that don't know what backdoored is, it's when people you're around who you consider friends, you're hanging around them, and they know that somebody wants your head, and they basically help them, pretty much. So that's when one of your friends turn on you. Now, for numerous reasons, people say he was backdoored, because even his ops would tell you that Melly was always on point. Not to mention, he was killed in an area where only his gang, that he surrounded himself around, was basically allowed. And I think that gang was 2 gangs, Gyro and Young Money. So like, none of his ops was allowed there. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's been reported also that 051 members was there as well. So, for 051 members to actually be there and no one else let off shots, and the gunman was able to flee the scene, it doesn't make sense. So the whole story sounds fishy within itself, and a lot of people already made note of that. And that's pretty much the basics. So I just want to say this. Now that I gave you the rundown, I hope you're familiar enough. And if you're not, and you feel you just want more, and the story sounds interesting, and you want more, go to Street News TV and check them out. Now, I'm going to break down the 4 lessons we all can learn from this whole situation. So in the future, we could all be more careful and not get caught up in the same way. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first lesson we're going to go with is, listen, don't trust nobody. All right? Don't trust nobody. That's family members, that's friends. Look, let's remember and never forget this. This is the streets. You live by the gun and you die by your gun. Like, no matter what. You don't trust anyone. Paid in Full, I know everyone loves the movie, but let's not forget it was based on real events. It was based on a true story. The moral of that situation was outpouring rich. Your own friend will literally kill you over whatever he or she feels that you did wrong, when it could have been resolved a whole nother way. I know we like to value our friends and all that, but at the end of the day, jealousy is a worldwide trait and it's uncontrollable. You can't control someone being jealous of you. You could be doing your own thing. You could have fell down 10 times and God decided to pick you up that 11th time and send some blessings your way. But meanwhile, someone on the outside looking in don't know what you've been through. So they don't know what it took for you to get where you at today. So they don't know the fight that you had to go through. You see what I'm saying? They don't know that you had to lose before you finally started winning. And they end up jealous. So perfect example, right? 051 Melly was amongst people he considered friends. He probably thought like the normal person, I don't usually drink, but since I'm around my guys, I'm gonna have a little liquor, I'm gonna chill, do what I want to do at this kickback. Now, that already messed with your awareness and your ability to really assess things, because you know how liquor do. Liquor alter your rightful thinking. Now, when it comes to jealousy, your own man could be jealous of you over something that you can't control, or something so minor. So whether you get more money, you got better jewelry, you look better, you got better girls, whatever it is, it be them little jokes that they make in a joking manner, but really be serious. You see what I'm saying? When someone says something negative, like in a joking way, and they laugh it off, but you know deep inside they really mean it. You gotta pay attention to that, fellas, ladies, whoever's listening to this. Those are subtle signs of a snake. And one thing I can say about Melly that stood out to me the most about him is that he wasn't your typical driller. Alright? Most of these dudes that was in the streets, that's all they was doing. They wasn't really getting to a bag. They were just shooting, just shooting. You see them in the videos, they look hurt. Alright? But the thing is, like, they really was about the life, but they just didn't have the money. They didn't look right. Now, the difference with Melly was this. He stayed with a pocket full. And he was always in something fast, whether it was a foreign or what. He just stayed in a vehicle. A lot of them other dudes were shooters but look broke. So now from the outside looking in, I watch his live videos that he used to post, right? Because you know they got him on YouTube now. And when he would be amongst his friends, he'll be gambling. He seemed to have like a lot of his friends under pressure. Now, you know, like that one friend where he say and do whatever he want. He talk the most crap and diss his own friends at times. But to him, it's not really much. But no one says anything to him about it because they know that he's really like that. So they kind of just walk on eggshells around him. You see what I'm saying? Because they probably ain't built like that themselves. So I picked a lot of that up in his live videos. So just think this. They also said he had a bounty on his head. We don't know how true it is. Allegedly, he had a bounty on his head. So when you put all that together, you think a friend that's jealous of you, you see what I'm saying, that you got under pressure, and he heard that there's money on your head and all he got to do is give people the whereabouts and you out of there, that's basically killing two birds on one stone. He no longer has to worry about you, him walking on eggshells around you. He can actually look like the man too. You see what I'm saying? All that stuff that he was envious of you about, he could do it now and not have no worries about you being around. Like I said before, jealousy is a crazy thing. You could have gotten into it with a friend mad long ago while y'all was around people. Now his pride and ego was hurt. And he never let it go. So a perfect way to pick that up is when y'all in the argument and he bring it up like something old and you thought was squash. You gotta watch those signs, man. Because one thing I can say is a weak dude will always fold up and tuck his tail when a strong aggressive dude is around. Alright, they can't take it. And who knows? That's why you just don't trust. You don't trust nobody, man. That's what I'm gonna say. You just don't trust nobody. Know your surroundings. Know the people you with. Stay yourself if you have to. Alright? But that's lesson number one. You don't trust nobody, even family, when you in the streets. Now, you're gonna jump to lesson number two, right? Don't be too accessible. Lesson number two. Don't be too accessible. Now, to me, this is a big one. Because when you're in them streets, especially when you're a target, you can't do what normal people do. You can't just be walking everywhere, especially on front streets. You gotta like take the back blocks. You can't just attend lounges, clubs, house parties. You can't just mess with any and every female. They'll be the first to set you up. You can't just be in public areas or always in large crowds. Like, listen, there's things that when you start playing in the streets, you took away from yourself. Now, you can do these things, and some dudes even get away with it, but guess what? Not for too long. Hanging places for too long, that could be the end for you. Look, even when I was in the streets, right, and I would go to clubs or lounges, I would never play the let out. What that means is, if the club is over at 4, I'm leaving at 3. 9 times out of 10, I got there at around 12:30 to 1 anyway. So, I was like only really spending like 2 hours there. Yeah, 2 hours there. Sometimes 3, but that would be pushing it. You see what I'm saying? That's the way you gotta move when you're in the street. Mind you, like, I wasn't a shooter, but I was getting money and I had a habit of being places out by myself. So I'll look like an easy come up. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, it's all about knowing how to move, knowing who to associate around, because you could also be around some people who got beef and you get caught up in someone else's situation and not even know. So when it comes to like being accessible, like, you don't have to attend every function. That's what a lot of people got confused too. You don't gotta attend every function as well, every kickback, none of that. Switch it up, switch up your routes. Know what I mean? Wherever you come and go, know what I mean? Cause people can learn your moves. Perfect example, the Chicago kid, his name was Lil Dawn. He was on his way to one of his friends' houses, right? And he stopped in front of a random house for a few minutes. In the midst of that small time, somebody spotted him and they killed him that quick. They killed him that quick. And I'm telling you, it really happens that quick. And honestly, I think 051 Melly shouldn't have even been in that party. Maybe he did get too comfortable or put too much trust in the guys that he was around. And that goes back to what I said, trust nobody. Melly got no business in a house party, especially being the person he was. Maybe he underestimated the type of clout he had. Since a kid, and that's another thing, since a kid I never liked house parties because it was like so many, it was but so many ways to get out. You couldn't get out. Like, it was 2 ways to get out, and if that, sometimes 1. You had the side door and the front door, but sometimes it's only the front door depending on the house. You have the basement, but when you go in the basement, it's only 1 way out, and that's up the stairs. So let's say if somebody's shooting from where the stairs is at, you can't go nowhere. You see what I'm saying? My thing is this: if you want to party, go somewhere far, man. You want to do that anyway to make the audience more diverse. You see different people, you see different things, you see different girls, you see different food, everything. You get different connections, you network different. And then not only that, when you in that lifestyle, you gotta go somewhere far. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder every 5 minutes just in case you see an op or something. You don't want to do that, man. Alright, so it's not called being scared or none of that neither. It's called moving militant. It's called being smart, being wise, so you can be able to actually see another day. Alright, so just like I said, that's lesson number 2, man. Don't be so accessible. Now for the 3rd lesson, right? Super important. Super. 3rd lesson is this: don't think you're untouchable. Lesson number 3: do not think you are untouchable. This right here is a lot of people downfall. Now, once again, I don't think Melly thought he was untouchable, but being at that party forces me to believe that he felt like he couldn't get touched because of who he's around. You see what I'm saying? He got a little comfortable, so it kind of goes hand in hand. But it's all the same thing at the end of the day. For one, let me explain something. We all heard of the mob, right? Mob fiends, the mob, mobsters, whatever. You got mobsters who was infamous for killing literally hundreds of people that has been killed. Right? So my thing is this: you got mobsters who did killings that got killed. So what does that tell you? Also, you got mob bosses, right? Let's take it a step further. You got mob bosses who is unheard of a lot of times of getting killed, who were murdered by somebody. So moral of the story is this, right? If guys who are well-known killers are part of a big crime family organization can get killed, what in the world makes you think that you're untouchable? Like, what in the world makes you think that you can just walk around, go anywhere you want, and do whatever you want, right, while you're a known target? Celebrities either have an entourage or security whose sole purpose is to protect them because they are public figures. When you're a target or someone popular, you known for people wanting to get at you, you might as well consider yourself a celebrity, especially with a bounty on your head. So you got to move accordingly. You have celebrities who have people who hate them for reasons that they don't even know about. You see what I'm saying? And they don't even know. So they have people targeting them from all angles, right? And they got people to protect them at all times. At the end of the day, you got to be prepared. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you this: it's actually hard to be prepared for the unknown. You follow me? It's hard to prepare yourself for the unknown. There's people plotting against you that you don't even know, and even if you know, you don't know when it's coming. Check this out: Melly got killed with his gun on him. Rest in peace, FBG Duck. He also got killed with his gun on him, and there's a few more. So it's not about having a strap at all times and being prepared, because it's hard to be prepared for the unknown. Once again, you don't know when or where it's coming from. So please, all I'm saying is don't think you're untouchable. Just stay on your toes, your P's and Q's if you're going to live that life. You know what I mean? Dudes I know, they were well-known savages, and I heard they got caught slipping because they was out in public somewhere or with a girl or at work or something. It happens. You get comfortable. Once again, you no longer live a regular life when you playing in them streets and living by that gun. So don't think you can't get touched. And it's funny because there's YouTubers who have covered a lot of these Chicago guys, right? And they was all labeled savages. Like, you got dudes in the comments like, yo, he was crazy. He was really about that life, blah, blah, blah. You see the interviews. You got people saying they was really about that life. But guess what? Guess what they all have in common? They're all dead. They're all dead. That's the harsh reality of it. God bless their families. But that just goes to show you that there's always someone out there looking to take you out and willing to do so. That's a lesson I think we all could benefit from. Alright? Definitely that. Now, for our last lesson, lesson number 4, know when to gracefully bow out. Right? What I mean by that. Now, listen. We all know when you kill someone allegedly or something, there's no way you could just erase that. The family don't want to hear you're sorry. They don't want to hear you change your life. And the ops don't either, right? So I'm not saying become Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or anything. But try and channel some of your talents into a direction that's going to take you places other than jail. I feel we all love to glorify the dark and negative side of things when we hear about 051 Melly. But judging from the things his sister speaks about, his close friends speak about, Melly was a very smart and caring individual. They said when he did attend school, he made great grades. He was very charismatic. He also loved to sing and had an angelic voice. He played basketball very well. He loved R&B music and even used to blast R. Kelly as he rode around in his car. And he was also a single father at one point in time because the mother of his children actually passed away. He loved church. He wanted to go, but given the circumstance he was in, he couldn't go to church. He loved playing chess and casino. Now, I'm a good judge of character, right? And I pick up on small things. One thing I can say about those choice of games is they both take a lot of patience and strategy, and he seemed to be good in both. Casino is a card game that actually originated in jail. So I'm assuming when he did his little time that he learned how to play. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you this. With the clout that he had in the street, I honestly think he should have used his huge following to be something successful. If he wanted to be a rapper, it would have been easy because everyone vouched for him. He had the clout as if he was a rapper already. Some of his Instagram lives would get 200 to 400 viewers, and that's just off of him being himself. So imagine if he did music. Let's imagine if he channeled those viewers in the streams and got paid for it. Maybe he wouldn't even been in Chicago because he was getting too much money. You see what I'm saying? If the shoe was on that foot. Never forget, y'all, the moral of the story of getting this money, the objective is to always move out. Make a way out the hood and move out. You know, some of y'all don't understand that. Y'all get a little money, y'all stay there. That was FBG Duck problem too. Rest in peace. He wanted to move out, I heard, supposedly, but guess what? It was too late. You know, God bless all these guys' families too, man, because it definitely must be tough. Definitely, man. And let me tell y'all, to move out, a lot of these guys, they think it's a sucker way of moving, but it's not. It's called being smart and knowing when to gracefully bow out on top. And guess what? Staying alive. Alright? So look, that's 4 lessons, y'all. Number 1, don't trust nobody. Not even your family, not even your friends. Number 2, don't be too accessible. Number 3, don't think you're untouchable. And number 4, know when to gracefully bow out. Alright? Now, if I said anything that was inaccurate, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you disagree, let me know in the comments as well. Even if you did agree, let me know. If there's any subjects, whether it's about hip-hop, current events, politics, self-improvement, relationships, whatever, let me know and I'll do a video for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified every time I upload new content. And I am out.